Good evening, everybody. So we are on our NJH weekly CME 27 1, and we are going to continue rosanes. That is the subclass 5, which is the Rosaceae group. And I welcome all of you to today, Thursday, 25th of May. We are doing Sapindales, which is a very exciting, nice group, and we have been doing a lot of it. Today we are going to, you know what all we have done. We've done a whole of Anacardiaceae family. We've done olive, which is a very lovely remedy. And today we're going to do myrrh, which is similar a little bit to olive, but olive was very good, okay? Then we've done Aesculus. Oh, why do you want to keep going? And we did Agale, we did Angostura, we did Jaborandi, we did so many remedies. So today we are going to do Ruta, and we are going to do, as I told you, myrrh and guaiacum. And then we are going to do some more remedies. Cedron. So let's start. It's Sapindales. I don't know why this wrong slide keeps coming, just to irritate me, I think. So as we know, Sapindales belongs to the 5th subclass, which is I and the other. So always we don't know how to get along with the other. And the problems all arise because of that. And it is early childhood and school age. Therefore, you have the rules and the rigidity and so much. And here the rigidity increases so much, as we'll see, maximum being in guaiacum. So we'll do Ruta, the other side of Ruta. We all use Ruta so much that we think, what are we going to learn in Ruta? So it is, of course, today the biggest learning, biggest number of slides. So it is Rue, the herb of grace. Family, of course, is Rutaceae. Herb has a pungent odor, which is produced by oil glands, which are on the leaves. And it is planted near houses to ward off ghosts and demons. Ghosts and demons, okay? In folk medicine, it is used to treat rheumatism, strong headaches, wet cough in babies, and for deterring head lice in babies. Beneficial also for stimulating early cessation of menstruation. I don't know who wants it, but whoever wants it. So it is mainly in the bones. So that's why we'll see the rigidity. Yeah. It is the myosome is cancer and important for bone cancer and the cancerous affection. And it, so Rutaceae has a lot of fear of cancer always. Okay. A lot of the cancer remedies have fear of cancer as if they're anticipating it from before. And then when you get the cancer, you want suicidal tendencies, okay? Cancer also of the rectum and the bowels, as we've seen in many of the Sapindales about stomach. Sarcode, metastasis of the bones. There's also rectal cancer and intestinal cancer. The mental and physical aspects, it has lack of flexibility. That is the main thing. And it has rigidity. Lack of flexibility means rigidity, but rigidity is very much stiff. Automatically it is stiff. It quarrels a lot with the family because it can't be flexible. And it is hard on the family because they can't be flexible. So hard with everyone and everything. They're overwrought because of this. They're so rigid. Even in case taking, as you see, they take 2-3 hours. Patient gets saying, he gets irritated, the waiting people get irritated, but he can't let go. They are bony people. overstrain themselves. You can have carpal tunnel syndrome because they are carrying, lifting the baby, and only they feel they are doing everything and they get no help or support. Feels I have to work everything, do everything on my own. Irritability towards his own children. So because of which that irritability, they get injuries and a strained back and injuries with tendons. They strain themselves and make others also rigid. So we can compare Kali, Ferrum, Rostock. Work is a duty, but something in them interferes this rigid doing, and every effort they make hurts the muscle because they make so much effort, too much, overwrought, overstrain. And for people who sit for long hours at work, they get colon cancer. So they are very particular about work, how it has to be done. It has to be done like this only. The result has to be like this only. So this much rigidity, okay? So rigid. And responsibility they take of taking care of others, which they think is an obligation, okay? And they overstrain even in that in a rigid way. They might be in pain, but they will still continue to work. They will continue till they become so weak. Then you have limb pathology manifests. Okay. Case taking, as I told you, in a rigid way. Okay. Everybody in the waiting room is waiting. 2:00 appointment. Now it's almost 5:00. What has happened? So painful, so painful. And they continue like this till they are exhausted, and so is the patient. They create problems for themselves in a rigid way. He stands, he wants to see first the new movie, first day, first show. So he'll stand in the queue for hours. But people go past him and he lets them go. He can't do anything. And so he never gets the tickets after waiting for long hours. It's just a joke. Emotional dryness because of overwork. So overwork of tendons and cartilages, and it leads to emotional dryness. As it is, that emotional dryness, emotions come from feminine. Feminine is getting more and more restricted. As you go down the column, now we're almost here, halfway, more than halfway. It's very dry, very dry. Feminine is almost dried up. Okay, so you have emotional dryness. There's no balance, and therefore everything is rigid and stiff. Muscles, superficial muscles are affected. Ruta affects tendons, bones, as they are more rigid. Ligaments sprain as a result of the tendon disconnected from the bone, and mainly tendon of the hand, because you do things with your hand. No? So doing symbolizes Ruta. Okay, so it is mainly the hand. Strains back by lifting, gives no time to the family, abuses their own children. The fifth column is, as we told you, all about learning to connect with the other. So the ability to connect requires so much effort and work that they dry up. Disconnection is at level of mind and the bones. Difficulty in conducting intimate relationship because of the emotional dryness. To conduct a relationship also requires some warmth, right? So if you're dry, you can hardly do it. Say hello, then what? You have to have some interest in people, what they are doing, how they are doing, things like. Yes, so dryness. So therefore, they also have a lot of feminine problems, okay? Because they are dry, so their motherhood is difficult. They have many miscarriages and abortion. Or sometimes they want only sex, yeah, for pregnancy. Sometimes they want only sex for sex. So they wanted sex only for pregnancy and therefore upset when there is miscarriage. Or he can worry, worry because if he got his girlfriend pregnant, he doesn't want to take that chance. So intimate relationship is a problem for him. Always she's crying about something and he doesn't know how to console her. He can give neither time to girlfriend nor the wife. So women who are in the Rutaceae, they have abortions and miscarriages. Helpful to give the remedy post-abortion. So it takes care not only of the bleeding and everything, but the emotions also. So it will give you some warmth and the ability to bear the abortion. The men are very hard, bone hard, very hard, inflexible. The tree can bend but not break. Yeah, inflexible, suspicious, reserved. They don't share information, yeah, like security guard, no? He doesn't tell you what happened in the next flat. Who came just now? They say, oh, I didn't see. Or I don't know. I just knew. Something. They are not supposed to share, okay? Like Pharaoh. And they are very, very suspicious even of his best friends. So he thinks he's cheated, that he's not understood. See, we don't know Ruta so much about Ruta, right? So much anxiety, so much rigidity. We know, we use it very nicely for many conditions of the bone, even cancer, but we don't know all the mentals. So thinks he's cheated, he's not understood. And as he cannot feel the other, so he cannot feel the emotions, he cannot feel the warmth, and he becomes suspicious and thinks that others are there to harm him. This is because of the severe split, the masculine feminine split that we've been talking about all through. Quarrelsome, complaining, discontented with everything, with himself, with the other, with life in general, loathing of life. Gives more importance to material things, none to intimacy in relationship. They're quarrelsome, they often feel guilt or things they have not done or think I must have done wrong. Superstitious, fears, compulsive thoughts. And finally, there can even be schizophrenia with paranoia, panic disorder, and need somebody to pull them out of it. Pull them out. Help. That is when they want help. But will they get help? Will they allow that person to help? Will they be suspicious of them? So there's this issues of good, bad, right, wrong, like all of the column, and especially like anatomy. At the end stage, the mind gets affected, and even in children, there is aggravation from mental exhaustion. There is dullness of the head that doesn't allow it to function. Speech is incoherent. Affectation, the words also are not very clear. She reaches a stage when she doesn't want to think, read. She refuses in mental tasks. So you've gone from not wanting to leave the office at all to not wanting to do any mental task. Difficulty falling asleep, refuses to read. They're suspicious, quarrelsome people who have a tendency to loathe life. Hard and inflexible. Even the palm, which is, soft in Ruta, you may see it is quite hard, not flexible. Some people have such flexible, even small bangles can go. Not for Ruta. Becomes easily fatigued. Generally acts on the periosteum, the cartilage, the eyes, and the youth. So straining flexor muscles, formation of deposits in the periosteum, which is why you have problems, okay, in movements. So affect tendons, joints, overstraining of ocular muscle, eyes. So we always say eye strain, na? Too much computer. Advise people every half an hour take one walk if the eyes are free. Even then, if they are paining, use Ruta in very low potency, or even moderate. Sprains, injured, bruised bones, lameness after sprains. No, after you sprain yourself, then it normally heals, right? If you take some proper rest and give ice and so on and so forth. But here there will be a lameness remaining after. Or after jaundice, feeling of intense lassitude, weakness and despair. Means after any acute illness, there's a lot of despair, lassitude. So if after any acute problem, they can't recover fast because they have used up all their reserve. They keep working and they have no emotional balance which act as a buffer to the body. Pains are like from a nail, nail, lightly done. Or after nice, good, intoxicating, expensive drinks also, they can have trouble. They can have epistaxis also, and they have periosteum. Now for the eyes, you have to compare Jaburandi and Ruta. Eye strain followed by headache. After eating fine print. We have all that, okay? Disturbances accompanied by weariness and pain. Pressure deep into the orbits. You know, if you take Ruta, sometimes mild thing also, if you take Ruta right in the beginning, then the eyes become a little clearer. But here, if you allow it to be, or sometimes then deep in the orbits you get pressure is over the eyebrow. There's also other symptoms like gastringia, colon cancer, cancer of the rectum, all. And very funnily, people, there are a lot of bikers, right? So normally the bikers can go on and on and on for hours. But sometimes when the roads are very bad, like we have in Bombay, yeah, or in India, travel for hours on bikes on irregular roads. Then you can have trouble. Potholes cause injury to the rectum. They travel a lot when the roads are regular, irregular. You've heard of motorbike people, no? Just recently in the CME last Saturday, I took a case where that lady's son, remember the case? We give sickness, and that lady's son died in a motorbike accident. He was a motorbike rider. Okay, so about 400 people came to that, collected at that spot. And they kept that bike there for a week, like in memoriam. Yeah. So lot of bike people. I have another friend also who lost her son in a bike accident. But they want to do, they are daredevils. They want to do all these things and travel when the road is regular, irregular. So of course some accidents may happen. Urinary organs, there is pressure in the neck of the bladder. Cold, wet weather aggravates, or you can have bowels, colon cancer. Finally travels to the brain because of stiffness and rigidity. The miasm in Ruta also is cancer. So in Ruta, you have no relationship, you have eye troubles, you have sciatica, you have spinal problems, constipation, fracture. Very important for ligament tears. We have given at least 100, I don't remember how many, but many patients with ligament tears. And, sometimes they've gone for operation and couldn't work, the operation couldn't take place. Sometimes even without it, sometimes it was once like cotton. And they said, we can't do anything, can't stitch it up, but to live with it. The boy was in America. You can't drive. How can you manage? So we gave calcarea for 6 weeks 6x, you take the bottle, and in that you put Rutaceae drops, and then give it QDS. And we've seen none of our cases have ever failed in this particular thing. All our ligament tears, 100 cases, whatever, have all been successful. We are clear for 6x plus 4 times it for whatever time required. Ruta even prevents surgery, yeah, of tendons and ligaments if you give it in time in the patient waits. It repairs the ligaments, and it is often compared to Rustov, but more spiritual, religious, and for Ruta work is in it. Okay? Stiffness of duty and the work. For Rustov, more fit. Rustov's like without restlessness. Constipation. Sciatica pain as soon as he lies down at night. Yeah? Night, he lies down, cold, wet weather, then motion opposite of rest. So that is Ruta. Have you learned anything new today, people in Ruta? Yes, no, maybe. Can you unmute and answer? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, madam. Definitely we had, because generally we use this Ruta only for the bones, tendons, and the eyes. But you have added so many other things, and you have presented so well in details. So it's make it complete Ruta. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's do some cases. Apart from the ligament tear, which is like almost a specific for which I use. So man came with back pain. He's very tired, no energy to do anything. He had many anxieties and persistent thought, no, somebody behind, because he's very, very suspicious. Something bad will happen, something behind him. Wife wants to go out, but he refuses to her. He said, no, you can't go out, because he's suspicious. Where is she going? Who is she meeting? And he does not even talk to her. He does not say what he feels. And if you discuss and find out where she's going, then you would be able to figure out what is happening. But he doesn't discuss and he refuses to listen to her. So there will be a lot of problems in these relationships. He's suspicious something will happen. He won't go out. He doesn't want to talk to people. See? Doesn't want to talk to people. He feels somebody behind him. Chilly. So the analysis was that the whole person can become rigid physically with every effort. He's superstitious, he's suspicious. He's so rigid, he won't allow her to go out. He won't discuss with her. He won't go out with people. Even for food, he has some very specific liking, Then he can't eat out. So he was given Ruta. It helped. Back was 0. Body was less heavy. There was more freedom of movement. He became more at ease in company. And relation with the wife improved. Then he says, I pay now less attention to small details. He was very suspicious. Every small thing he wanted to know. What is happening, what was not happening. What is this? What happened? Why this thing here? Why this person come? All these things. So he said, I've become less attention to details. Yes. The level of compulsive thought, the bone pain, everything became better. Back was 0. Energy was better. Compulsive, persistent thought, something happened to her, went away. Pain in the eyes also went away. Limited choice of things he will eat. So it was difficult for him to go out to restaurant. That also became better. And the cancer, which he felt will happen to me, that also feeling went. Okay. So let's do case number 2. So she was a lady, female, 58 years old, very attached to her father. And she still remembers him. She learned time and punctuality from him. She runs a provision store from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. She's always in the store. Sends the children to school and that time pops out for 1 hour for the children, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Rest of the time at the provision store. Very responsible. Work is like clockwork. She had one daughter who died at 18. Husband is very slow and indecisive. Son is married, but no good relation with him. He won't take care of her even though she has cancer. She's very sensitive. Only daughter, second daughter takes care. But her rubrics are, what has she done wrong? Why am I suffering? So much responsibility, cancer, metastasis. So which subclass? And so rigid, must be done like this. I must be at the store all the time. I can come out to help the children little bit. And then I must go back to the store. And then also, what have I done wrong? Why have I done wrong? So, and he doesn't get along. She with the son, she doesn't get along with the husband. So it is with subclass rosy, right? Aim is business is important. Sister, when they were small, even bunk school. Patient was busy, we never saw her. She never bunked. Okay. There are always right and wrong issues. She cannot support injustice, even if the son does
On
mistakes.
speaker now.
Yeah. What happened? You can't hear me?
Hello,
Yeah.
who's there, please? We can't hear you. Hi, Dr. Abdul Khalem. You have some questions? 1 minute, please. Ma, he is not able to hear you properly.
Okay. So earlier son was quite a favorite.
Yes, yes.
So even if he made mistakes, she couldn't tolerate it. Yes. So super ego, elevated super ego. Okay. You have id, you have instincts, you have ego, which reality and super ego is all about morality, right and wrong. Okay. So it is the rosary subclass, stage of life. Hello.
Hello, requesting you all, please unmute your mic, please. Thank you.
Finish.
Your audio is on. Please put your audio on. Now can you hear me?
Dr. Abdul, can you hear now?
Okay.
Ma'am, please go ahead.
Okay. So here super ego is very high, right? Right and wrong issues. Won't tolerate anything. Won't get along with the children, even if the favorite son. But the son now become favorite. If you do too much and pamper, they don't look after. So he won't look after her now when she's sick. So it's a rosary subclass, stage of life with punctuality and all is school age, right? So it is school age. So you have Sapindales because of the sincerity of work, the rigidity, the school age. So you come to Sapindales. You have to differentiate between Ruta and Rasta. Myasm is cancer. So, and after every incident, everything, every pain attack, very frustrated, weak. She feel like squeezed lemon. We did all the lemons and the oranges and the citrus, remember? Squeeze till they have no more juice left. Okay? So it is and Rostock doesn't have so much cancer pathology. So it is the Rutaceae family, cancer myasm. So it is Ruta, quarrels with the family, metastasis. Ruta 30, 10 doses BD was given, then Ruta 200, then SL for a few days. After 3 weeks, she came standing with folded arms, thanking. She said, I want to work. I want to help my daughter, to finish the work. I have not been able to do anything. Daughter said within 2 days, she felt better. I can't believe it. And then after that, the follow-up, next follow-up, 2 years, completely all right, lives alone, cooking, working, taking care. Okay. So this is how Ruta 200, hardly 4 doses in 2 years. When she got COVID, no treatment, no pain. Village she lives in now, good air. Okay. So that was Ruta. We did 2 cases also, including the mind. So spread your wings. Yeah, see more things that we can do with Ruta. Especially for ligaments, please use it liberally. And for any emotional problem, there's so much rigidity, don't do. For cancer, where we say Ruta is a very important remedy for cancer. And the myasm is cancer. So our 12th remedy of the whole Sapindales and its group is Xanthoxylum fraxinum. So it is the leprous myasm. Okay. Where you will have in leprous, they have what? They're rejected. So you have disgust. And you have a lot of squeezing, twisting, crushing. It is very effective in endometriosis. Whatever pathology of the uterus, it is useful. Xanthoxylum fraxinum is very sensitive to noise. And boric description is nervous, delicate organism or neurasthenic constitution. So they are reserved people, just like we saw Ruta, who turn the anger only to the family or they suppress. If they can't take it out, vent it to the family, they suppress. So it is like Ruta. The head feels empty. They have split half-sided headaches. Head seems divided. Numbness of half of the body. So whenever there's a split, there's a lot of these half-sided. Left-sided hemiplegia. The 5th column split, yes? Neuralgic pain. So left side is more in xanthoside. Suppressing the emotions, yeah, because emotions have to be feminine, they have to suppress, they have to go, it has to dry up, leads to digestive complaints, painful flatulence, and a pressing pain. Band. So you have to get the differences between the things. Then only you'll be able to prescribe. The commonality will be the split, the suppression of the emotions, so on and so forth. So band sensation around the head, abdomen or chest. Dr. Vibha, can you tell somebody to come and put off the fan?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. So, emotions, when you suppress, you may get head. We've seen that also, right? Now, here there is more xanthoxylum. You have more digestive complaints with flatulence and a pain. A band sensation, whether it's around the head, abdomen, or chest. In women, this tight or blocked energy is expressed as pain at the time of menstruation and pregnancy. These are simple people, unassuming, diligent, responsible, suppressing the anger and nervousness. Often they will have problems at work. So Ruta doesn't have much problems at work. It works, till it goes. Here there are problems at work. So being made redundant, right? Thrown out. In these days, they all the time talk about reducing the workforce. Yeah. Companies going at a loss, reduce the workforce, give voluntary retirement, say you're not doing good work, you're redundant. So, not having enough work, as well as difficulties with their children. The children are always there, somewhere or the other. Then they can reach depression, weakness, and apathy, often due to hormonal illness. And then she doesn't care. Yeah. Everything going down, down, down. Work is gone. Children are not good to her. She's done everything she could, but she's no longer able to do anything, can't earn. So I don't care whether I live or she feels she's going downhill, going declining, can't stand her own children. Now she doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't want to do household duties, and she is sleeping. So from the ordered location in the table, which we know, you don't want me to show you, right? I showed you 5th subclass, yeah, early childhood, school age. So the imbalance is due to the overly strong suppressive masculine aspect, leading to hormonal imbalance. पंखा बंद कर जरा इकडे पहा इकडे especially in women. So there's dragging pain in the uterus or there is severe menstrual pain. Sharp pains after labor. Aggravated by breastfeeding because they don't have that strong motherly feelings. Pricking, bearing down pains after pains with increased lochia. So after even delivery, there's bearing down pain. Neuralgic pains of the ovaries preceded by numbness, tumors of the ovaries, menses disappearing, premature menopause, suppression after taking the pill. So the pill is the masculine force, yes? So you by taking the pill, you're using your masculine force. It is masculine suppression, suppressing your period, suppressing your hormones, suppressing your regular cycles and all that. Miscarriages, difficulties with children. She worries, Xanthosylum worries, won't love her children. Like she doesn't have that much motherly instinct, yes? She won't be able to love them. So for patients who are of spare habit and nervous, delicate constitution, indigestion from overeating or too much food, sluggish capillary circulation, neurasthenia, poor assimilation, insomnia, occipital headache, half-sided things, and feel that I won't be able to love my children. I don't have that feminine thing. I have miscarriages. I have great menstrual pain. So there's great tension in the system, boric. And pathology focuses on the left. You may have rubrics also: humiliation, anticipation, conscience, crime committed, cruelty, deceived, dreams of body parts and stuff, dreams of water, dreams of high waves. Action is on female sexual organ, left side. Injury to nerves, to neurasthenia, hemiplegia, left side. Sleepless and some headache. And band. Nervous, irritable and delicate. Split half-sided headache. Head divided, numbness of half body, neuralgic. Suppressed emotion lead to digestive complaints. Painful flatulence and pressing pain. band sensation around the head, hormonal imbalance due to overly strong suppressive masculinity, leading to hormonal imbalance, especially in women, dragging sensation. Neuralgic pain in ovaries, menses disappearing, premature menopause, won't love for children, suppression after taking the pill. So that we did our 12th remedy and वो address बराबर है speaker दी ना. So we did our 12th remedies. So we had Ruta, we had Xanthosylum, which is more left-sided. Okay, lot of ovaries, lot of tumors, lot of menses things, and feeling I won't love my children. Now you have Xanthosylum americana. Just a little bit, just prickly ash, Rutaceae family, a medium-sized thorny bush, and the orange scented fruits are red, contain one single black seed, and the seed peel is bitter, has salicylic acid, and it has more rheumatic complaint. There I had more stomach complaints, yeah, and toothache. It's used as a stimulant in case of lack of energy. Again, there is squeezed lemon, no energy feeling, typical of Rutaceae. Okay, 14th remedy. This was just a small remedy, okay, if it comes, fine. But guaicum, I thought, was a good remedy to consider because we do use it, right? We all use it somewhere or the other, and we don't know too much about it. But it is more because of rigidity. It's the maximum rigidity of all of these. We'll see that. It is also called tree of life, and the small bush adopted to arid condition. These are all hardy things. They can grow anywhere, yeah? The flowers are light blue and the seed, anacardium, we said, no, the seed is like outside. It protrudes from the fruit. See here. The wood grows slowly, but attains a big height, 40 to 60 feet. In guaicum, the rigidity of the sapindale leads to deformation. So joints, but with pronounced deformation. So learn guaicum today. It will be useful. Tendons and muscles are contracted. We've not seen that much in Ruta. Ruta we see ligament tear, this, that, not proper. But here they are contracted. And the contraction causes the pain. Muscles are too short. Even in the eyes, the lids contort backward. Yeah. Stiffness everywhere while moving. Tumors of the joints. In Ruta, we saw colon and other things, right? Syphilitic ulcers. Guaicum is a syphilitic remedy. So Merck is DD. So syphilitic remedy, Ruta was cancer. And Xanthosylum was leprous. Here is syphilitic foul smelling secretion. For stopping the pus. Pain in the side of the rib cage as if you've been running and running. Or stitching pain. Syphilitic type of pain. Sensation of intense contraction and a need to stretch and yawn like all Rutaceae, yeah? Severe pain in the bones, pelvis, hips, yeah? So bone here. Rheumatism and pain when the bone joints become deformed. Pain worse at night, syphilitic. Severe growing pains or severe sciatic pains in the limbs. Hollow, empty sensation as if going to faint. Tumors mainly of the joints. difficulties growing up. Everything becomes stiff and constricted. Everything seems narrow, right? Constricted. Constipation also constricted. And the emotional, mental level also the same rigidity. So they are strict, stubborn, stuck up, seized up, and can be fearless. When you are stubborn and you want to do like that only, the fear becomes less and they are finally syphilitic minds. Very critical. Misanthropic, don't like people, fixed ideas. They want the same food. Tells the wife, don't change my food. Give me the same food every day. Every day, same food. Breakfast this, lunch this, tea this, and dinner this. Okay, same food. For years, eats the same food at the same time. This is from Yaki's case. Okay, hangs on to a routine that worked well when he was younger, though it doesn't work well anymore, but he wants the same thing. No space for new things. So stuck there and want the same. I can't think of even one person who says, so right now I can't think of any, but if you can think of anyone who says, I want the same food, same thing for breakfast, another same thing for lunch, another same thing for dinner, think of why. The only thing that will stop them is pain from going on working. Yeah. For Ruta also, it stopped them. They worked and worked and worked till there was too much weakness. Here it is pain. So it's all oriented towards the stiff syphilitic end. This is hardness, defiance, and inflexibility. So much rigidity. The mind is extremely narrow and rigid. No change at all. He lay in one spot for 6 weeks, gazing at one spot on the wall. 6 weeks. He was totally focused on one thing while he was unable to move. Dreams, vivid, masculine. So he dreams of riots or a policeman with a baton. Yeah, the dictatorial aspect of the fifth throne. Policemen, they think they can rule everybody, not dictate. Get up, take out your clothes, things like that. Small and contracted remedy, closed, narrow-minded and stuck, contracted to a point. He was staring for 6 weeks at one spot on the wall. So this was why coming. Yes. 77-year-old man. 30 years, neuralgic pain in the face. Sharp pain, right cheek, right. Your xanthosylum, left. Extending from the jaw to the eyes. After exposure to cold, jaw to the eyes. He's holding the jaw, he's holding the eyes. The pain is terrible. He takes Tegretol, the pain persists. In the last 2 years, he has sudden fainting spells and tired. His life was all about work and duty, starting from a young age when he was made to work at his parents' business against his wishes. But there he worked and worked there only till he retired. He's fastidious, makes critical remarks, easily angry with family, completely thirstless, eats little. Because he is so fixed, remember? Only what I like, and I don't like new things. Don't try. I don't want to see your smartness. And don't learn new things for me. I want the same things. When I'm angry, I tell my wife every morning, don't prepare new food for me. I do not need all the newfangled things. I don't want surprises. Because of narrow-minded attitude and the rigidity, and he wanted that, he got quiet. Following the remedy, the pain was diminished to such a degree that he reduced the Tegretol. After a few weeks, the pain went. Fainting episode, none. Blood pressure, sterilized. stabilize. Still dreaming of what he needs to prepare for what. This is a yakirke. Okay, so we are almost coming to, no, still there are 3 remedies left. Okay, so we've done 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fifth remedy. Zadirachta indica. It is neem tree. So I thought this may be interesting. Okay, so I did it. Neem tree. Ornamental tree, but with very poisonous fruit. They look like grapes, right? But they're poisonous. Symptoms are in the head and limbs. Limbs will be there, but more in the head. Okay, even in Xanthosallum we saw in the head, but in the female. In Ruta we saw in the bones. And in Guaicum we saw in the limbs with deformity. And each one was a different miasm, right? It was syphilitic Guaicum, Ruta is cancer, Xanthosallum is leprous, and which other remedy we did? Guaicum is syphilitic. Okay. Symptoms are focused in the head and limbs, sensation of heat in the ends of extremity. There is tremor, weakness, formication, rheumatic pain. So in Ruta you had ligaments, there you had this deformity, now you have more rheumatic pain. Feels drunk, thought disappear. You had menses disappearing over there, yeah? Thought disappear. Dizziness and extreme weakness of memory. Weakness of mind is typical of this order. Order means 5th subclass. Peculiar dreams, quarrels, wild crowd, fear of evil, something going to happen. But here you can't see that much suspiciousness, which you saw in Xanthosallum. Depressed, a lot of retained anger, confused libido. Rekha Rosenberg, who done also a lot of work, says it is related to indecisiveness, especially for important decisions and where there's a need to clarify, yeah? So you have to think of anacardium, confusion, this or that, yeah? Good or bad, devil or angel. The bark is used for purification, disinfecting, antidoting poison, and a natural pesticide. That's all. So, short remedy, indecisiveness. When there's need to clarify for purification and peculiar dreams, okay? Confusion. Head and limbs, tremor, weakness, rheumatic pain. We saw in Guaicum deformity. So here, not so much. Neem tree. We know, na? We use neem also, na? We do it for a lot of, even the last wash, the kadu neem. I always say when you have skin infection or something, in the last wash pour neem, boiled neem water, right? So purification, disinfecting, pesticide. So to clean the situation. Azadirachta indica, which is neem. Cedron. Cedron only because we use it now for specifically for fevers which come at a particular time. So I just thought it's short remedy, but so it is used in intermittent fever, sensitive and irritable, excitable temperament, and sensual. Loves sex, very amorous, and loves alcohol. Both of them trouble him. Sex and alcohol. Chronic headaches, tinnitus, neurological complaints when trying to rest. Great weakness comes about later. So you have cold, dullness, and sensation of heaviness. Peculiar is periodicity. Complaints come exactly at the same hour. Same hour. Fever at the same hour. Every day. That's why I thought Cedron will just do it. And you have sexual, this thing, desire for, but it troubles, and alcohol, desire for, but it troubles. Okay. Mirha. You remember we did olive sac, right? I told you it's the most beautiful remedy in the whole Materia Medica. Well, mirha is myrrh, called myrrh, and also a little bit similar. So comes from mur, Arabic mur, meaning bitter, and came to the English language from Hebrew Bible, where it is called mor, M-O-R. So it is the aromatic resin of a small thorny tree, grows in Arabian desert. The tree's bark peels off like peeling skin. The resin is a natural gum harvested from the species Commiphora mirha, and by wounding the tree bark repeatedly to bleed it off this tear, like a tear, elongated tear like gum, which is waxy, bitter, and coagulates quickly. And the bark peels. So teardrop resin, then it hardens. And they traumatize it till it bleeds and forms these things. Mirror. So it is used for perfume, incense, lot of religious purpose and medicine, and for embalming. So means it is a preservative. Okay. It delays rotting and eliminates odors. So it was very valuable in ancient times, equal to value of gold. Also used for mouthwashes, gargles, toothpaste, gum disease, and so on. So this remedy is related to spiritual awareness, attaining spiritual exaltation, which is the fifth column's goal. A goal achieved through a split. This explains the remedy's issues with purity versus impurity. We saw in olive sand that more purity, but here there's more impurity. We'll see. Feeling impure and unholy, discerning holiness everywhere, It sees good in everyone. We saw that in olive can, sees good in everyone. Discerning holiness everywhere, or everything may seem dirty. So it has both the sides. Not. As in olibanum, the flower essence embodies this saying, holiness of all people and places, including myself. Everybody's holy. So Stellinga writes, this remedy is for people with pure intention, always helping, endlessly giving, not good at receiving, while remaining emotionally distant and aloof, and always getting a slap. Despite their benevolence, they are emotionally disconnected even from their own needs. They avoid any emotion because column 5, suppressive emotion. They are to the point of losing themselves. They may tend to withdraw and separate themselves from the world after experiencing a bereavement or a painful separation. They separate themselves from the world. They don't want any emotion, but they don't cry and cry like our patient which we did on Saturday of signals. She was crying all the time, right? But here they separate themselves from the. It is a martyr. You know what a martyr is, right? Everything I will sacrifice myself. That is a martyr. And then a martyr always feels nothing. Nobody ever does anything for them. But they are coming to the world to do things for other people. They are martyrs. You see this in many families, right? The woman does everything, nobody values her. And they feel everything bitter, life is bitter, tasteless, and many heartaches. Person who does all the time good and is repaid badly gets a slap each time, not even appreciated. People who give much of themselves and get slapped back. Slapped. They give, but they get slapped back. Always someone who does wrong, but they suffer silently, says Vega Rosen. Often side they are aware of their own inner shadow. They know the inner shadow, yeah, which they try to avoid because this is the good and the bad. So they are doing good, but they know there's something else lurking. They try to overcome that by doing good deeds. Perfectionists and overachievers like all Sapindales. We saw that in Ruta, we saw it in all the other remedies. They set themselves such high standards that require like quasi-sainthood. They're almost saintly. They don't do any wrong. You feel, oh God, how is this people surviving? Yeah. So high standards, so high, very difficult to meet. Then because they set such high standards, they feel inadequate, unable to live up to themselves as they strive to prove both to God and to themselves how good I am, how much I do for others. Oh, suffering so much, still I do. And still I criticize myself. Still I feel guilt. Did I do enough? Did I do enough? So religious affections with guilt. They mostly come from harsh and severe homes. Okay, so as a child, strict, rigid parents like the order. Fifth subclass, very strict, very rigid. So they have repressed anger because they feel judged, condemned, and betrayed. Yeah, even Judas is betrayal, but we won't go into that in the Bible. Yeah, Judas betrayed Jesus. Yes. Panic attack, probably due to self-repression, inability to express the frustration. The remedy deals a lot with death issues. See, it is used for embalmment, right? So that is for dead body, right? So death issues, some death, loss of relatives in wars or terror attacks, and those remain as wounds from past unexpressed pain, unshed tears, lingering sorrow. Yeah, lost somebody in the attack, in Bombay terror attacks. Yeah? Yesterday, I had a patient who said, the terror attacks, I was literally shaking. And there were still people who were joking. I was in that express towers just next to that. And I was shaking and I was trembling. And people were laughing. How was that possible? Holiness, purity, pure, light versus dark, spirituality, see angel, clairvoyance, piousness, religion, responsibility, faces death, not like that patient, the other people. Emotional suppression, repression, has to bear betrayal and guilt and then feel criticized. Issues from the columns, repression of the feminine quality. And so, because of the hormonal imbalance, weak uterus, irregular painful menses of anemic girls, menstrual pains, ovarian disorder, inflammation, excessive vaginal, not vaginal discharge, bearing down pains in genital parts, and mental disorders following suppression of menstruation. Vibha, will you call somebody, please? My battery is going.
All right.
Weakness and infable states. Atony and muscle weakness with excessive secretion. You have to throw out, right? Feminine is secretion, and you have to throw out everything. So you have excessive secretion. The inflammatory symptoms and multiple mucous membrane discharge. Slow healing, apathy, ulcers in the mouth and jaw, stomatitis, receding gums. So you also, we saw, na, for mouth washes and all that. Laryngitis, tonsil with throat pain, cough and nose discharge. हे लॅपटॉप इकडे नाही आहे तिला बोल weak digestive system, heartburn, burning sensation in upper digestive tract accompanied by weakness and perspiration, intestinal inflammation and diarrhea. The polarity is portrayed by the incenses, the heavenly fragrance. And how you have heavenly fragrance and you have a parasitic repellent. So two opposite states. So the polarity is, you can see, yes, right and wrong, black and white, everything. Insect repellent. And Harish nahi aayat ka? Harish nahi aayat? Let's do some cases. Saved. Sometimes we say, not saved by the break. Otherwise, you would have got off, then start the whole thing again and all that. Yes. So here we have Emma Stellinger giving us some case. She had many complaints. An imbalance she blames on the 1999 solar eclipse. Headaches from cervical tension, sinusitis, recurrent colds, modified menstruation, intensive violent dreams, and changing moods and PMS. All this she blamed the solar eclipse. Okay. Sad and moody and harbors fears of heart disease and cancer. Although she has studied to be a healthcare professional, she refuses every offer of work she gets, as she feels she's not good enough. She had several death-related, we said something near death. The first one at age 5 when she nearly drowned. At 21, a whole family, a friend, she waved them goodbye and then they went and they had an accident. And just after that, they've just waved her goodbye. So you can imagine how she felt. But she felt heavy guilt and tends to blame herself. There was nothing she did, okay? But she tends to blame herself constantly. So death experiences. Always apprehensive of others, hurting them, making mistakes. She strives to be helpful. Her parents are very strict and she never felt good enough. She was clairvoyant as a child. She's afraid of small and confined places. She tends to crack her fingers. It's the first remedy I've come across where you had this. Some people have a habit, cracking. You have to think whether they're so good as Myra. With the remedy, her relationship with parents improved because she finally confronted her mother. She feels rebalanced physically and mentally. She's less anxious and can now accept offers of work. She's a healthcare professional. So Judas's issues of being a traitor versus an enlightened being concern her. Is he a traitor? Is he enlightened being? Did he do good for Jesus? Did he do bad for Jesus? So they concern her. So that finishes our mirror. I wanted to do this remedy mainly to compare it with olive sack, because olive sack was so good, yeah, all the time good. He said 90% goodness and 10% badness. But here there is a lot of goodness, there's embalming, there is a connection with the and the but there is also a lot of death issue, lot of guilt, lot of feeling I did wrong. Did I do wrong? Was I responsible? So this case is very good. Okay, this case really makes it, you can think of things which gave you trouble. Solar eclipse. So many things it gave her. Sinusitis, cold, even menstruation, PMS, everything started after 1999. Strange, no? And she had 2 death experiences. And one she really felt responsible. Why? We don't know. But she came from a strict parents who never let her feel good about herself. So finally, you have to confront or talk to your parent, even at an older age. Then only can you get, somewhere. No, I have not used.
May I add one interesting information with regarding Mera?
Yeah.
It was used very, very early by the a big Egyptian king in, some thousands of BC, 1500, 1800 BC. And it was grown extensively at that time in Somalia and Sudan. And so expeditions were sent to bring back this tree. It was that valued.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the
That
3
valued.
ingredients
Yeah,
for
because
embalming the
Egyptian-
emperors.
Egyptian needed to embalm, no?
Yeah,
So,
for the mummies. And it is the only plant in among all the Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's the only plant being shown, planted and cared for by an emperor. Only the Mira tree.
lovely, no? So it is got the spiritual and the other aspect. And I was hoping one of your by now would have had olive sack some case. Actually, I'm waiting for one case. I have a patient whom I'm treating for cancer, and the way she describes her husband, I'm dying for him to come to me because he seems olive sack. Whatever anybody does, he keeps doing and doing and doing. And she kept saying, what I've got now this, and I don't have too much time. I feel so bad for him that now came the time for us to enjoy so much. We've just been working and working and working. And now has come the time to enjoy. And I don't know if I'm going to be there, for him. Because now our children are settled, grown up, even his family, he's done for everyone. His mother, his brother, his sister, all his brothers all dependent on him. And now is just the time we have settled, we have made a house also in the village. And just the time when we are going to be little free of all this and, travel or, enjoy. And now I've got this and I feel so bad for him. And he never complains. I really want him to come to you, but I won't tell him for him. I'll just tell him for my things you come to me. He said, how did he marry me? I had a divorcee with 2 small children from such a bad marriage. And I was living in their house. And how did he, propose and look after me and my children, just like his children he's brought up. They are also so fond of him and they love him and he loves them. So he seems such a good man. So I really think it'll be olive sack and I'm dying for him to come to me. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. There is one question in the chat box by Bronwyn, and he has asked you, have you used any of these remedies be good for Dupuytren contracture?
That's why I said that contract. I have not used guaiacum also much. And the only remedy I've used extensively is Ruta and Cedron once for fevers. And no, nothing else much. Guaiacum, of course, for some, but not startling anything. So now I want to use these remedies. Yes. Anybody else has any used remedies?
I've used guaiacum only as a acute case of a lady who had pain back of the knee.
Huh.
Worse by any movement and better by cold, not heat, opposite.
Mm.
Generally think of Ruta or something, Ruta, but this was worse by heat. She wanted cold application and she was very rigid. But and that was just as an acute.
Yeah.
She became all right. There's no more, that pain never came back. She never came back either.
And if we phone them, they say, oh, but because they are thankless, no? It is syphilitic miasm. So
yeah.
maybe we'll phone them.
Maybe she was guaiacum constitutional. Who knows?
Yeah. Yes. CPR. They always say, na, CPR never comes back to thank you. Yeah. So anyone else, anything to share? I think we finished Sapindales. Next time we'll do revision. We'll do our one-liners for all of these remedies. Okay. So we've done 18 remedies and more, I think. And we'll start the next one, right? Which is the next family? Which is the next family? Let us see.
I think ram nails.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Ram nails. That's our next family. Sapindales. Cornels have you not done, no? You've done? No. So, yeah. So we'll start that. Now we've got a few things left. We've done the big ones. All the big ones are done.
Yes.
Yes.
There is one question. Dr. Aarti is asking. She has joined little late, so can we get the recording, please? We'll be grateful to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can do the summaries, na? Those 3 lectures we did summaries. You can get. Them.
Hi, Dr. Aarti. Please join next time. Ma'am is going to revise all our the things which is.
That's now we are going to revise Sapindales, but even the earlier ones where there are revision, na, quick revision of all the others. Now we have umbelliferic, which is at the end, and APLs, which are big. The others will have. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much. Are there any other questions?
As usual, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Vishpala. This is
Thank
Ashok.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We had a good time today. I like these remedies. Now we're going to use more and more of them. Guaiacum, definitely. And yeah, I can think of one case long ago I had. I helped her a lot, but not fully, not deformed. But no, she was very sweet. She was not like Guaiacum at all. So
I think, madam, the right.
Yeah, you want to, your chronic right leg sciatica, you said, na, better by cold. Yeah.
Maybe if you are not closing yet, I'll just have few words to speak for this guaiacum.
Yeah.
First thing that for Meera, I have to say 2 words because it's very long time. I was very young when I visited for 3 days in Egypt, in Cairo. You know, the outside this all pyramids, they were selling some these perfumes. I remember now, while we are talking about they were selling also mira, and they were selling the perfumes which were very costly, and selling also the incense made by these Egyptians. They are worshiping. And in India, I have seen also many for the costly things and the quality. Now I should remember now how really homeopathically how valuable this is.
Yeah.
And second thing, for Guayakam, that about 5 years ago, there was a 40 years old nurse man from Kerala that for 3 or 4 years, he was suffering for the back pain as he had to walk too much.
Mm.
As he will have to walk, he must sit down in the his report, or the where he was working on the 5th floor. So every time he has a pain aggravated by walking, but he have to sit down. But initial time I gave him Rustox, which did not help him for some reasons. But the Rustox was not available in our theme that while movement is better, he was having the problem with the movement that when he walked too much, he was having the difficulty for aggravations. Then later, after 3 months, I gave him this our remedy. It helped him that he was better in about 3 or 4 months, maybe little more, 80% of betterment, meliorations. After he didn't come, but on and off he calls telling he's doing better. Better means
But Ashok, I'd like you to go through that case. You must have taken some more part and see if you can find any of the mentals, the rigidity and this aversion to children and this kind of syphilitic thing. If you can find
yeah,
something in the case, and then
yeah,
you'll feel at least, you'll feel that it was, even though you didn't connect on it.
very right, very right. Anyway, he was not very social person.
Yeah.
He was very rigid to speak. When he was coming and sitting, talking to the point, not very people. He was not very open, not extroverted
Yeah.
person, but only whatever he gave me about these problems. So this remedy helped really for 80% of his problems.
Very
Thank
good.
you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Teacher. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. This is how we grow and grow and grow. Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.